It doesn't seem real. After waiting for what feels like a lifetime, we're getting a collection of a lot of the classic Mortal Kombat games with online support, with updated netcode, behind the scenes, special content, things of that sort. Just a collection of classic Mortal Kombat goodness. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Dynasty, and I wish you could have saw my reaction to watching the PlayStation State of Play. The last thing I was expecting to get during the conference, the showcase, was going to be this trailer. So I was sitting on my couch in the living room and I recognized the font, the Mortal Kombat font first. And I was like, wait, what? And then I heard Boone's voice and I lost my mind. So unfortunately, yeah, I've already seen the trailer. So let's just pretend I'm reacting to it already. Oh, we just reacted to it. Oh God. Because that's what happened. That's what I was feeling on my couch. It was surreal. This shot right here almost broke me. Tobias and Boone on the sticks. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection for the Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. It's for everybody. It was showcased at a PlayStation Expo. But no, it's not exclusive. It's for everybody. It's dropping 2025. And there's actually a PlayStation blog post that gives a bunch of new details about what to expect in this collection, including the full list of games in this collection. And guys, it's pretty insane. They're giving us pretty much every version for a lot of these games, and also they're kind of missing a lot of versions for a lot of these games. So a lot of people were excited, a lot of people were bummed because, for instance, like Mortal Kombat Gold's missing. You know, it's the arcade version of Mortal Kombat 4, which has never been re-released ever. MK4 finally freed, yet Mortal Kombat Trilogy's missing. Overall, I'm just glad to see that we're getting some type of love to the classic Mortal Kombat games. Right there, by the way, it seems like there's also an Easter egg because you can see there's like, there's 4 question marks. And in the PlayStation blog post I'm going to cover after this intro, they mentioned there's still other Mortal Kombat games that haven't been announced that are going to be parts of this collection. Is it 4? Is that what those 4 question marks indicate? Is that a tease? Is it a secret? Maybe, maybe not. As for what those other 4 games are going to be, again, a lot of speculation. Some of you guys are still hoping it's the rest of the 3D era games, Shaolin Monks, Deadly Alliance, Deception, or Armageddon. For me, I'm assuming that'll probably be saved for the next collection. Ideally, though, I mean, you got pretty much everything in what's been officially revealed already in this trailer and the press release. If you give us those 3D era games, this is like the ultimate Mortal Kombat package all in one, which is what I was bitching about just back in December. So I hope that's what happens, but part of me feels like they're probably going to save that, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they got some surprise up their sleeve, and for all we know, we're getting those 3D era games, but I'm going to assume they're going to try their best to see if they can get it done in time, and if they can, awesome. If not, it'll probably be saved for some time down the line. That's the one question I keep getting asked. Do you think it's going to be the 3D era games? I hope so. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. This has already made me super happy, surpassed all my expectations for anything Mortal Kombat related in the future. Did not expect this to be announced randomly today, but regardless, we gotta break down everything and talk about it. So before we do, if you guys do your boy a solid, it takes you a second, drop a like on the video. And with that said, let's see everything that the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection has to offer. Okay, so here we go. This is essentially all the other information about the Legacy Collection that we know so far, other than the actual trailer itself. Goes on to say, Digital Eclipse brings the classic arcade, home, and handheld games to PlayStation in 2025 again. It's not just PlayStation, it's on everything. At Digital Eclipse, we specialize in restoring historic games for modern consoles, giving legendary classics the respect they deserve. As you might imagine, we get a lot of requests from fans, and for many years now, the overwhelming #1 request has been Mortal Kombat. That's why we were so excited to reveal in today's State of Play that we're partnering with our friends at WB Interactive Entertainment to bring Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection later in 2025. Goes on to say, with multiple 90s and 2000 games from the early years of this groundbreaking fighting game series, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection will also provide a comprehensive, detailed look at the franchise's history ever assembled. We'll take you back to the glorious 1990s, the days of arcades and tokens, of hidden fatalities and secret characters, with the original versions of Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, and UMK3. But we're not stopping there. Many of the home versions of these games from vintage 16-bit consoles, and yes, even handheld systems, are also included, and the arcade and console games can be played online with rollback netcode, which is honestly insane. I can't believe they finally did it. It took forever, but the bitching worked. Goes on to say, want to enter in the blood code and challenge a friend to throw down in the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat Online? You'll be able to, and we'll even enter the blood code for you in case you don't remember. Now this is the big stuff right here. Here's a list of the playable games we've announced so far, with more on the way. Mortal Kombat 1992, the arcade version, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Boy, and Game Gear. Then you get Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade ports, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Boy, and 32X, which is crazy. Mortal Kombat 3, the arcade, Super Nintendo, and the Genesis. UMK3, the arcade, and the Super Nintendo. Mortal Kombat 4, the arcade version, which is, again, just mind-blowing to think MK4 is finally freed. Mortal Kombat Advance, which was such a shock to see. Initially, when I first saw this listed, I almost lost my mind because it says Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, but sadly, it's just for the Game Boy Advance at this point in time. Again, cross your fingers and hope it's like the PlayStation version, the Xbox version, because, yeah, we all know your boy loves the 3D era games. Then you get Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition again for the Game Boy Advance, and right here, it simply has 3 question marks. Now, again, I mentioned the intro, it seemed like a tease for 4 games. This has 3 question marks. Is that 3 games? Don't know, but to close it all off, it says, what's next? Well, Mortal Kombat's all about secrets, so we hope you don't mind if we keep a few of our own for now. So yeah, there's definitely at least maybe some more versions of these games that aren't listed here for other systems. Maybe it's Trilogy. Maybe it's Mortal Kombat Special Forces or Sub-Zero Mythologies. Or maybe the dream comes true and it's actually those 3D era games that a lot of us have been missing. Now it goes on to close out by saying the full history. If you've played our other products, you know that Digital Eclipse doesn't just stop at the games. We produce full interactive documentaries that give you all the behind-the-scenes information about how these legendary games were created. Look at Motaro! Says earlier this year, Digital Eclipse traveled to WB Interactive Entertainment to interview Mortal Kombat co-creators Boone and Tobias alongside literally dozens of devs, actors, industry fans, Mortal Kombat experts. We're excited to say we're once again working with the incredible filmmakers behind the Tetris Forever game to make this documentary. Going on, it says we're also going to do a deep dive into the history of Mortal Kombat to find design documents, early prototype, materials, motion capture sessions, concept arts, and much more never before seen. You'll be able to step through our interactive timelines as if you were walking through a Mortal Kombat museum, watching videos, playing games, viewing photo galleries, and more as you travel through the history of the franchise. So it sounds like the crypt's on crack. Everything MK1 was missing, we're getting in this. Remember, fighting the elusive green ninja reptile, entering a combat code to transport yourself to Noob's Dorphin, pulling off an animality to transform into a dragon and eat your opponent's torso. Mortal Kombat games are full of secret content, some gruesome, some silly. We will give you open access to everything in these games without need for hidden codes or memorization. How will we do that? That's still a secret, but it won't be for long. So I guess we can fight Reptile and everyone else with the click of a button. So there you go. Again, I'll have this link down below. With a name like the Legacy Collection, you would think that those 3D era games would be included. If they actually come through and give you those mainline games, Shaolin Monks, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon. Man, how's that to celebrate 30 years of Mortal Kombat? Wouldn't that just be the greatest gift to us, especially after the shit show that was Mortal Kombat 1, this whole Liu Kang new era? I'm just saying, this game's gonna sell really well, regardless. If they don't include those games, most of us are gonna pick this up. I know some of you guys are still upset that Gold isn't confirmed yet. Trilogy's not confirmed yet. We'll see what happens. I'm sure they have their reasons why that's not gonna be included. Maybe Trilogy would just be too broken, too OP. I don't know. But we'll see how this goes. Obviously, there's not a release date. This could be at the end of the year. There's a lot of events this summer where they could give us snippets of information about what they're adding as well. But worst case scenario, guys, is maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, we get the second parts of this Legacy Collection. And I mean, it's not too far-fetched when you're seeing Capcom doing that left and right. Not annually, but it feels like it. Seems like every other year or so, we're getting a new fighting game collection from them. So, I mean, hey, it would only take 2 unless they're going to give you Mortal Kombat 9. Imagine those 3D era games with Mortal Kombat 9. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the selling point. All those games with MK9. Overall, it still just feels surreal. I didn't expect to be talking about this at all today. I can't believe it. At least like this, if a game sucks in the future, we can always just come back and play, hey, the classics. But we'll see what happens. You know, I mentioned I bitched about it back in December. Why can't we play a classic Mortal Kombat game with updated netcode? So, your boy manifested it. We all did together. And speaking of keeping things together, how about this? Tobias and Bone. That right there, man. We need more of that. Inject that into my veins. As a Mortal Kombat fan, this shot right here was nice to see. And if this goes well, why not bring the duo back? Maybe it's not over. We'll see. But guys, thank you for watching. What do you all think of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection? Again, a lot of hype for this. A lot of hype. Will those next few games be gold? Mythologies? Special Forces? We'll find out in due time. And again, 4 question marks. What could that mean? What could that be? I love y'all. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. We're back! MK's back. MK's back. Peace.